Hello, my friends. It's that time where pussy willows come out, as well as daffodils and hyacinths and muscari, as well as all the pansies. So, what I thought we could do is create a beautiful arrangement that you could have inside your house or that you could put outside. If you put it outside, you will slow down the entire experience. And if you bring it inside, everything will bloom quite quickly, and you'll probably need to replace some of the flowers within the week. Because this is Easter weekend, I wanted to get as much of the fragrance going, and I'm just going to try to enjoy it. Now, let me show you what's specifically in here. We have three different types of pansies. They do look like Johnny Jump Ups or violas, but indeed the actual faces are much bigger. So we have this beautiful purple one with the yellow face. Then we have this lovely pink one. And then over here we have a purple one. They're just so pretty. And you can certainly eat all of these flowers. So you can just add these pansies to a salad if you're interested. The daffodils are quite lovely. They're a little miniature one, but they have like a double bloom on them. They're just so beautiful. And then we have a purple hyacinth, which when I bought 2 days ago, it was only an inch high. It is now 5 inches. And then over here we have some white muscari. Down here, I also have some lovely looking pussy willow that is on red branches. I've never seen that before, so I think it's going to add a really interesting element. Now, the vessel we're going to be using is a clay pot. I picked this one up at Sheridan Nurseries, which is a nursery by my house, and it was $15. Because it does have a hole in the bottom and it is a clay pot, I added in a saucer that fits tightly on the bottom. This was another $3, and it's plastic, so nothing will drip through. So, which is great. I think it's going to be a lovely container once it's all done. We're going to try to create a little bit of height at the top and have everything sort of around the bottom, sitting around the same level. So let's just see how this all comes together. I'm going to put the camera on the tripod and we'll try to walk you through how I do it. It's not always going to be what everyone else does. And that's what I love about everybody's gardening style, is that we all get to be unique and different and just enjoy the garden and our love of nature together. All right, so let's get started. So what I've done so far with my clay pot is I've actually taken a napkin and I'm trying to cover the hole here, because if I was to just go and start right now and put all of my dirt in there, I would have all the dirt go through here. And when I go to water it, that dirt could actually come out the side. So I'm going to put just a paper towel down. You could put anything that you want down. You could plug it with stones. I find a paper towel works out really well. And what I'm using right now is just potting soil. I buy potting soil in the fall and make sure I have potting soil on hand. All throughout the winter, I also buy seedling soil and my succulent soil, and I just have all of those on hand so that I can do any kind of project when I feel like doing it. So all I've done is I've filled the bottom here, and we're going to come and we're going to add more as the day goes on. But first, we're going to try to look at the different parts of our design. What I've done is I've done three of these beautiful red stemmed pussy willows, and I've tried to pick more of the straight ones. I do have some of the curved ones in the arrangement over here, but I'll save those for arrangements that I'll do outside where I'll connect them. In this particular one, I just want to have them sort of sticking up at the top. And because at this point I don't have enough soil, I'm going to put these in at the final part of my design, and I'll figure out exactly where they look best. So for now, we're just going to leave them there. I'm going to start with the highest pieces first. And as I explained, you can see that these are sort of have a sweep over to the side here. All this would take is an hour in the sun and they will upright. So I'm not going to worry about it, but I do have to think about the positioning of this piece while I'm creating the overall design. And you can see that there's a ton of other little daffodils that are still going to pop up. So I want to make sure I use this to maximize. All I'm going to do is take everything out, and you can see it's nice and healthy. At the bottom here, we have some really nice roots. You don't need to do anything to these roots. I'm going to stick one right here, and then the other one, by coincidence, just happened to swoop the other way. So for the purposes of this project, I'm just going to take the two of these out. and I'll put them side by side. Now, I've picked a random number here of pieces. You can pick whatever feels good for you. And I'm going to put this one at the back. And I want it to be beautiful from all sides. We're going to put the skillet at the front for the purposes of this camera. But I want this to be that no matter where you sit at my table, you will always get a good view. So right now we've got the 4 different pieces. And if I'm to hold it forward, you can see that they don't quite hit the edge or the lip of this bowl. So they're going to sit all a little bit below. I also have over in this container, I have moss, and we're going to add that as well. So because this is white, I probably want to choose a different color than just the purple or having just the white at the front. So I think what I'll do is I will add in some nice color right at the front. And I'll bring this right over here. It's going to look lovely. And then over here to complement that strong color as well, I'll do my other purple. So what will happen is we'll have this beautiful color right here with the yellow and the purple. We'll have little white skillets in the front here, and in the back we'll have this nice purple. And I only have one left of these. It should only be one in a container, but sometimes you can also see if perhaps it has divided, so that you could try to split the plant in half. Now, no, this really is only one. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stick it over to the side. Right here, we'll tuck that in. And so I've got this beautiful collection of plants here that are just coming along lovely. And what I'll do is I'll just take the soil and I'm going to fill in all of those holes. I've taken the liberty of adding all the dirt out, not on camera, only because it does usually make a mess. But what you want to do is come in and fill any of the holes that you have around here. Now you can see it looks quite full from the front, but from the back there is that little empty spot. So what I want to do is actually take a bunch of moss. I have moss here that I have overwintered. I've been using it on top of different arrangements all winter long. So I'm going to use it first because it was alive and it has dried out. And I'm just going to fill in all of these spots first with it. And then I will see if it grows back, because if you're going to take stuff from nature, you do want to make sure that you utilize it as much as possible. Then I've also collected a bunch of interesting stones here on my walks. I've got this beautiful stone here. It is a white kind of crystally beautiful rock that shines lovely. I've got this rock here. It has some fossils in it. And then I've got a bunch of different flat stones. So I'm just going to finish this up, putting all of these, the moss around it. Now I have, just so you know, pre-moistened all of the moss. And the other thing that I would highly recommend that you do when you buy these plants, I typically find that they are often very dry. And so you could definitely work with this all while they were dry. But if you want to have less mess, what I'd suggest that you do is you water them the day before you plan to do your arrangement. So that's what I did. I watered everything yesterday, gave it a really nice, good watering, and I let it sit. So when I took everything out, you saw that everything didn't fall all over the place. And that's just because the moisture was there holding the soil in place. But again, if you're trying to do it really quickly, you could water it afterwards. The thing is, if you water ahead of time, what it also allows you to do is to sort of let everything sit in place without having to try to water it again. And I believe that that just makes your plants a little healthier. So if you were to look at this right now, you can see it's all still pretty brown and it will likely green up. But what we'll do, just from an aesthetic perspective, is we'll take some of this other moss that we have and we'll just add that in different places. It is making a bit of a mess, and that's okay. And we'll just add that as an extra a little bit. Now this moss that I'm adding on now, it was live moss, but it is 2 years old. So at this point, I think we can call it pretty much dead, but it will give us some nice light texture while the other moss grows. And so we'll just fill in each of these holes. You can see how lovely all of that looks already. There's any left in that one. And then what we'll just do is we'll just find interesting places to put our stones. And we'll sort of stack them. We'll make some interesting little places where all of these pieces can go. You don't have to add stones. You could do pine cones. In some of my other arrangements, we just use pine cones and acorns and just things that you would find on the forest floor. But what I like to do is I like to have these beautiful little walkways. Obviously, I'll be cleaning up afterwards. Beautiful little places where you can just find these rocks, because I just find it adds this nice textural element. And I find if it was normal times and I had friends over and their kids were over, they'd of course all pick up every little stone on here and play with it, and I'd be totally okay with that. So what I'm going to do as of my final piece is add these right in the middle. And you can see now they're going to stand up nice because they've got all of the other plants around them. There we go. Lovely. So I'll just clean this up and then I'll take you on a tour of the whole plant from all angles so that you can see it. So I brought it outside so I can try to show you that it's getting really dark. It's going to rain pretty heavy shortly. So I just wanted to show you from all sides here. You're sitting here still looking at all of my winter urns, but here's my little spring collection. And as you get closer, you can see how beautiful those pansies look, as well as the daffodils. And the other day when I was cleaning up, I found this little bird nest. It's been sitting out by itself for about a week and a half, so I'm not worried about any sort of ticks or anything at this point. I have this beautiful little blue clay bird that I picked up at a craft show. So I've added that because I just think it adds an interesting element to this side where there was a little bit more room. You can see how pretty this looks. Like if I just back up, so pretty. And I'll just come over to the other side so you can see how it all comes together. I'm really, really happy with how this looks. So pretty from every angle. And I think everybody will be just delighted to look at that on our kitchen table or even on the counter. Not sure where I'm going to put it. I actually have far too many crafts and fun things that I'm doing right now. So let's talk about how you can care for this arrangement. First of all, you need to decide whether you're going to keep it inside or put it outside. Being able to fluctuate between the two environments can be very hard on your flowers once they acclimatize to being indoors. So I'd kind of recommend if you're going to leave it outdoors, you let it go slowly outdoors, but you do need to keep in mind if it is going to snow or you're going to get heavy frost that could break your clay pot, I would definitely bring that in overnight. Another solution would be if you wanted to slow the whole process down is to put this down in a cellar where it's cool and dark. Keep in mind that when I bought this arrangement 2 days ago or bought these flowers, this was only an inch high or just a couple of centimeters. And now it's 6 inches high or about 10 centimeters high. And the daffodils were just little tiny ones, as you can see, like right here. They were only small like that. So they've also grown a couple inches or about 4 to 5 centimeters. And so if you're going to create an arrangement for a specific day, you do want to time purchasing your flowers and the environment so that you get a bloom on the day that is important to you. So this would be like 2 days previous. Again, I also gave them a really good water yesterday, which really enhanced how quickly they grew. So water them the day before, take them out of your environment 2 days before your event so that they grow, and you'll be able to have a beautiful arrangement like this. Now, in terms of watering, I would definitely be coming along and I would mist your things like the moss and, April showers. So give your plants a little bit of joy here. Just a little bit of spray. And that's just to sort of give them that dewy look. And then I would finally just come with your watering can. You've already pre-soaked all of your plants yesterday so they weren't dry. And I would just sort of give them a little bit of water today, particularly in the areas where your potting soil was that you just added. And then I would let them be for a couple of days before you come back and water them. You don't want to overwater anything like this. It doesn't really enhance it. It makes your bulbs a little too soft, and you don't want that to happen either. So just put your finger in. If it's dry, they need water. If it's wet, just let it be for another day and come back and check on it. Beautiful little arrangement, easy to do. I would say in total, this cost me probably about $3 for the pussy willows. I think it was around $18 for the container. I probably used less than $1 of soil, and I had 7 plants at $4 each. So under $50, you've got a beautiful arrangement that you can call your own and put in the middle of your table. Now, don't forget, you can also reuse this container over and over again. So the next time you wanted to make this arrangement, you could just buy your flowers. If it starts to go stale, you could go and repurchase the actual bulbs. But these are going to last you all season. These will last you right until the fall. So you don't have to replenish these. Trimming them and using them for salads and stuff will just enhance the amount of growth that they get. And when it comes to these flowers here, the bulbs, you can just take those out, see if they have some new ones, replace them with new ones that they would still have, or you can try something else in here. The other thing I do with pussy willow is I actually dry them. I just take them out of the arrangement and they will dry exactly like that, and you could use them again next year. So overall, I'm delighted with the way it looks. I'm really interested to see what you guys do and what you create. So when you create your particular item, you can follow me on Instagram at Joanne Blondin, and you can send me your pictures. I'd love to see them. Or if you have done your own and you have a YouTube channel, just put the link here because this is a great community and everybody loves to share. Take care, everyone. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. We love to hear from all of you, so leave kind comments and share some of the joy and tips that you've had in your own garden. And if you'd like to subscribe, we'll be doing a monthly garden tour again back in the garden here. I'll also be posting lots of content that I created in 2020 that just never edited. So you'll see lots of really cool stuff coming your way. Look forward to hearing and seeing all of you. Bye now.